We're now one day away from the theoretical launch of FedNow. A lot of it has actually been launched already and they've been phasing it in slowly. But apparently tomorrow is an official launch of FedNow in the United States. And I've seen a lot of questions. A lot of people are speculating that FedNow is using XRP. A lot of people are speculating that FedNow is the beginning of the end of the dollar. A lot of people are saying the government is taking over your life, controlling your spending, controlling your currencies. A lot of people are even saying that FedNow is going to replace Bitcoin. I'm going to try and answer those questions in this video. Get you a cup of tea and let's dive in. So what is FedNow? Well, FedNow is a payment system that is designed by the Federal Reserve, which is why it says Fed in the name. And it replaces an existing system called FedWire, and it makes it faster, cheaper, and more instantaneous. Let's kick it off by letting them tell us what it is. We're going to listen to this video. I'm going to react to some of the things that are said in the video.
In today's fast-paced world, time is money. More people, businesses, and organizations are demanding instant payments. That's why the Federal Reserve is developing the FedNow service.
Okay, so there you have it. It's designed by the Federal Reserve, as you can see. So it's a system that they've built, so automatically it's got the approval of the Fed and the SEC and the governments, etc.
A safe and efficient instant payments infrastructure that will modernize the U.S. payment system.
Shout out to
FedNow
Hawaii.
service will give financial institutions the opportunity to innovate, enabling their customers to send and receive money in seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
All right, so as you can see, all of this stuff already exists. You can already send money in this way that it's described. But the thing is, it's not 24/7. The FedWire service that is around now only works on weekdays, doesn't process on weekends, which is why a lot of your payments don't happen on weekends, as you probably know. So let's
365 days a year.
So that's including
Funds will settle between
holidays.
financial institutions in real time, which means there's no buildup of interbank obligations.
Okay, so this is going to happen in real time. As it is now, when you do payments, at least in the United States, even if the payments appear to be instant, where you go in, you swipe your card, the payment is taken, and you can get your goods and get out, or you send something to someone else's bank account and it shows up in theory, the actual settlement in the back doesn't happen till overnight. So there's an overnight batch that runs, and these payments just get backed up one after the other and queued up and run through the system, and a settlement process happens during an overnight run. Anyone that has worked in an IT department of a bank understands exactly what I mean.
And end users will have access to the funds in seconds. How will the FedNow service work? Imagine the owner of a coffee shop is running low on coffee beans and needs to schedule a quick delivery. She places an order and the coffee bean company sends her a request for payment. She responds to the request for payment and pays for the coffee beans right then and there through an app from her credit union, which uses the FedNow service.
Okay, again, all of this is possible right now via PayPal, Swift, credit card companies, etc. But the underlying infrastructure is an instant. It just has the appearance of instance.
Once she initiates the payment, her credit union screens the payment and sends an ISO 20022 compliant payment message.
That's very important. See, this ISO 20022 is an international standard that is developed by the International Standards Organization or something like that, the ISO. And basically what that is, it's an attempt to standardize the technology for payments globally. It's quite similar to other standards that we have, USB, TCP/IP, etc. That makes it easier and cheaper for things to work globally. Now, a lot of people don't like this organization because they globalize technology, and people don't like to hear the word globalism. But that's pretty much their function. They create global standards so that we can travel from the United States to Dubai and not have to worry about changing USB keys and stuff. You know, we can communicate over the internet. Before the TCP/IP standards and stuff were created, for instance, we couldn't email each other across different countries. We had to work within our own standards. But now we can all email each other. We can all share the same internet, etc. So that's kind of the idea. And by the way, XRP is ISO 20022 compliant. So there you go.
Either directly or through a service provider to the FedNow service over the Federal Reserve's FedLine network. The FedNow service instantly validates the payment message and passes it along to the coffee bean supplier's bank. In real time, the supplier's bank confirms to the FedNow service that it intends to accept the payment, and the FedNow service debits and credits the master accounts of both the shop owners and the coffee bean supplier's financial institutions or the master accounts of their correspondents. The FedNow service also immediately sends a payment message with an advice of credit to the supplier's bank and notifies the shop owner's credit union that settlement is complete.
Can I just say that is XRP, guys? I mean, it seems like, I mean, so far, if I didn't know that they were describing FedNow, I would say they're describing XRP. So it's the same kind of idea.
Finally, the supplier's bank credits the supplier's account in near real time, making the funds available. The supplier's bank will have the option of sending a confirmation to the shop owner's credit union that the payment has been posted to the supplier's account, providing the coffee shop owner with certainty that the payment was received. The FedNow service will be designed to be flexible and support a broad range of potential use cases. Banks, credit unions, and other industry providers can use it as a springboard for innovation to support a range of applications such as account-to-account transfers and bill pay.
Okay. Again, XRP. By the way, Stellar could also do all these things that they're talking so far. So holders of XLM are also watching this thinking, this is XLM.
For example, now imagine it's after hours and the shop owner gets a reminder that her car insurance bill is due today. She may be able to avoid a late fee by initiating a bill payment in her credit union app by offering the type of payment options or sign on as a receive-only participant.
Oh, that bit is important. Sorry.
To adopt the processors and correspondents to adopt the service. Banks and credit unions will also have the option to adopt the full set of FedNow capabilities or sign on as a receive-only participant. The initial launch of the FedNow service will focus on core clearing and settlement capabilities. Additional features will be released in phases to meet evolving industry demands and changes in technology.
Okay, that's quite important. So it's not a rigid system, it's an evolving system. So even, let's say, for instance, we discover that it doesn't use any XRP technology or whatever, it is a system that could evolve in the future to include XRP, XLM, X whatever else.
Get ready for the FedNow service. Learn more at fednow.org.
Okay, so fednow.org, huh? Let's have a look. As you can see there, it says launching in July. So we are in July and everyone is expecting the launch tomorrow. So let's learn a little bit more about what it actually is. So like I said before, it's replacing FedWire, which is what is currently being used. And these are basically the differences and the innovation that it brings. The availability is the major one, 24/7, 365 days a year. So it's available on holidays and weekends, whereas FedWire currently is available only business days, which means no weekends and no holidays, which is where your transactions don't take place on Christmas Day, for instance. Transaction limit is actually less than FedWire. It's saying that it's $500 million per transaction. However, of course, because the transactions are happening instantaneously, that's in theory limitless, because all you have to do is do a bunch of transactions back to back. So I don't see anybody being limited by that. Whereas the reason why FedWire has no limit is because, of course, it happens as part of an overnight batch, so it just runs, when it needs to run. The cost is relatively small, but this is quite expensive actually when you compare it to XRP. It's 4.5 cents per transaction. But if you're transferring $1 billion and your costs are 4.5 cents, I think the banks and everybody is pretty happy about that. And of course, the FedWire system, it varies by bank. Bank can decide to charge you whatever they want. The speed is a big one. It settles within seconds, whereas the FedWire settles in minutes. Very secure, very secure. Use cases: retail payments, P2P payments, bill pay, payroll, large value payments, security settle, So basically FedWire does these gigantic bank-to-bank, institution-to-institution payments, whereas the FedNow brings in P2P, bills, payroll, smaller payments, smaller transfers that need to happen faster, more instantaneous. Again, pretty much what XLM or XRP can do with ease. So to answer the XRP question, FedNow most definitely doesn't use XRP. It uses a blockchain called Corda that was developed by a company called R3. We're going to take a deep dive into that company in a minute, so stay tuned. However, there's also some good news with XRP, which I'm going to talk about a bit later, so don't go away. I'm still happy about this, even though it's not directly using XRP. But I will show you the XRP involvement in a minute that you might not have seen before. All right, so FedNow is a new instant payment service being developed by the Federal Reserve. We know that. It is designed to offer uninterrupted 24/7, 365 processing and will feature integrated clearing functionality, enabling financial institutions to deliver end-to-end instant payment services to their customers. How does it work? FedNow uses a distributed ledger technology called R3 Corda. By the way, I like the way they call it a distributed ledger technology when they just mean cryptocurrency, right? They don't want to call it cryptocurrency because it legitimizes, people would ask the question, so why don't you just pick an existing cryptocurrency? Why are you creating your own? Or it just legitimizes the whole cryptocurrency ecosystem, right? So they call it something more academic sounding, a distributed ledger technology. Bitcoin is a distributed ledger technology, as is Ethereum, as is XRP. Okay, this technology allows for secure and efficient transactions between financial institutions. FedNow payments are settled in real time, which means the recipient has access to the funds immediately. So it goes into what are the benefits of FedNow. There are a number of benefits of FedNow, including the speed, convenience, security, cost effectiveness. What are the challenges of FedNow? Well, interoperability, that's good news for XRP, by the way, and I'm going to tell you about that later. Adoption, that's another good news for XRP. And regulation, fantastic news for XRP. Overall, FedNow is promising technology, yada, yada, yada. Now, let's look at this R3 Corda that the FedNow system is running on. First of all, what is R3? So R3 is actually a consortium of a lot of banks from around the world. So even though FedNow works in the United States only for now, it's an internal thing for the United States. The technology on which it's running is actually international. It has Asian and European banks that have formed a consortium in the company that developed it. So look at the website. It says capitalize on new digital economy, transact openly, securely, and scale across networks. The leading open and permissioned distributed application platform powering multi-party workflows in regulated digital finance. The next generation of Corda delivers on R3's promise of enabled connected network of regulated networks, whatever the hell that means. R3 doubles down on interoperability with next generation Corda. Obviously, they're doubling down and working on the whole interoperability thing. Interoperability, I can never say that properly. This website gives you a hell of a lot of information, by the way. I've had a quick look at the blog earlier on, and that keeps you up to date to what they're doing. There's also this really, really cool fact sheet that you can look at, and it's a lot of really great information. So it's just r3.com. If you want, I can leave the link in the description. I've read this whole thing, and it's actually very beautifully presented. I was quite impressed. Very, very similar technology to XRP though, but there are some differences. R3 Corda is a distributed ledger technology, a DLT, that is designed for enterprise use. It is a permissioned blockchain. That's a big difference between it and XRP. XRP is public, which means that only authorized participants can access the network. R3 Corda is used for a variety of applications, including trade finance, supply chain management, and insurance. This is one thing that we actually don't talk about enough with XRP, but actually in Korea, supply chain management is currently being done leveraging XRP. I'm going to talk about it in a completely different video, but just to throw that in there, that if that's the first time you've seen that supply chain management, it's a feature that XRP actually also includes. R3 Corda uses a peer-to-peer network to record transactions. Each participant in the network has a copy of the ledger, which is a record of all transactions that have been made. That's just a description of a typical blockchain ledger like Bitcoin, XRP, whatever. When a transaction is made, It is broadcast to the network and all participants verify. Basically, it's describing blockchain technology there. Benefits of R3 Corda, again, security, privacy, efficiency, scalability. Challenges, complexity, regulation, adoption. So what are the differences between Corda and XRP? The purpose is the first one, enterprise use, whereas XRP is designed for payments. This isn't completely true, of course, because enterprises can also use XRP. Type of blockchain, for me, this is the most significant difference. It's a type of blockchain, permissioned blockchain, whereas XRP is, of course, public. Access, authorized persons only, which is related to being permissioned, and anyone can use XRP. Use cases, trade finance, supply chain management, insurance. Here it says payments, but of course we know that XRP could also do trade finance, supply chain management, and insurance. So they're exactly the same. Speed, fast, very fast. So XRP is much faster than R3 Corda. Efficient, again, XRP is more efficient than Corda. Security, they're both secure because they leverage blockchain technology. Privacy, you have controlled by participants. XRP is not private, it's an open ledger. Anyone can look into your transactions. Scalability, they're both scalable. Regulation, not clear for both. That's not true. Well, it's not completely clear, but it is more clear for XRP, of course, since we've just been through the law case. And one, there are some issues with the executives and selling of securities, but we know for the token itself, the regulation is clear, or the legal standing is clear anyway. The regulations are still oncoming. Whereas, obviously, there's no actual sale of cryptocurrencies in this case, so who knows what's happening with that. Adoption, not yet widely adopted. Not yet widely adopted. I would say, of course, that XRP is more widely adopted than Corda at this very moment. So far, it would seem as if XRP has nothing to do with FEDNOW. FEDNOW is running on Corda, which is built by R3. R3 is a company formed by a consortium of many banks. And these banks apparently are global banks, some of them. And of course, they've thrown their lots in with Corda and not XRP. And this would seem to negate the preconceived idea that all these banks are using XRP, correct? Well, that's not really true. It turns out R3 and Corda have a relationship with XRP that goes a little bit far back that you might not know. So this article was written in 2018 and it was updated in 2021. So this is not a new thing. R3's new Corda app supports payments in XRP cryptocurrency. R3 has launched the Corda Settler app, an app aimed to facilitate global crypto payments within enterprise blockchains, and it's starting with XRP. Surprise, surprise. Distributed ledger technology provider R3 has launched the Corda Settler, an application aimed to facilitate global cryptocurrency payments within enterprise blockchains, and is starting with XRP. R3 said that XRP is the first globally recognized cryptocurrency to be supported by Settler. You see that? Bringing the Corda and XRP ecosystems into closer alignment. Something of a rapprochement considering that Ripple and R3 were previously locked in legal dispute. That's spicy. We're going to talk about that one later as well. The deployment of the Corda Settler and its support for XRP as the first settlement mechanism is an important step in showing how the powerful ecosystem cultivated by two of the world's most influential crypto and blockchain communities can work together, said Richard Glendale Brown, CTO of R3, and adding, while the settler will be open to all forms of crypto and trading assets, this demonstration with XRP is the next logical step in showing how widespread acceptance and use of digital assets transfer value and make payments can be achieved. Again, this is good news also for XLM fans, because of course Stellar would also probably be on this. And I've actually seen somewhere there's a bridge that someone has built between R3's Corda and XDC. So there's an actual XDC bridge that works. It's Ethereum based. The Corda Settler is an open source cord dApp that allows payments obligations arising on Corda's network to be settled via any parallel rail supporting cryptocurrencies or other crypto assets, and any traditional rail capable of providing cryptographic proof of settlement. So Lightning Network possibly. The app will verify that the beneficiary's account was created with the expected payment and automatically updating the Corda ledger. When a payment obligation arises on Corda during the course of business, one party now has the option to request settlement using XRP, said R3. The other party can be notified that settlement in XRP has been requested and that they must instruct payment to the required address before the specified deadline. Once an Oracle service validates the payment, shout out to Chainlink, has been made, then both parties can treat obligation as settled. So as you can see, as way back as 2018, updated in 2021, probably following a resolution of that legal battle between them, they've been working together since the beginning. So let's look at the lawsuit. What actually happened? Ripple settle legal dispute over XRP purchase option. Blockchain startups Ripple and R3 have resolved a legal battle that saw both firms filing suits in the United States over contract dispute. Okay, what was the contract about? Blockchain startup Ripple and R3 have resolved a legal battle that saw both firms filing suit over contract dispute. A representative from R3 confirmed. So just to know, it's September 2018 at the moment the article was written, again updated in 2021. The spat went public over a year ago when it was reported by Reuters that R3 had filed a complaint at the Delaware Chancery Court alleging Ripple had not honored an agreement that included an option for it to purchase 5 billion XRP. 5 billion. So basically, R3 wanted to purchase 5 billion XRP to hold and the open source cryptocurrency of Ripple's distribution ledger network. R3 asked Delaware Chancery Court to force Ripple to uphold the deal, which would have allowed it to buy the XRP at a price of 0.0085 per token. Wouldn't that be amazing if we could buy at that price? Absolutely insane. And can you imagine 5 billion tokens at 0.0085? If they haven't sold, they have made a ridiculous amount of profit. They're sitting on billions of dollars worth of XRP. Anyway, September 2019, this is when that happened. At press time, the price of XRP is 0.26 cents. That was in 2021 when this article was updated. Now it's closer to $1. And if they haven't sold, R3 is sitting pretty right now on some really juicy XRP tokens. In Ripple's counter case at the Supreme Court in California, the firm claimed that the two had agreed a deal for a joint commercial venture, alleging that R3 had not stuck to its end of the bargain. So basically, Ripple is saying that we're supposed to be working together and we're supposed to go into this venture together. So as far back as 2018, 2019, it would seem that the consortium of banks that we're going to talk about again, I'm going to show you who these banks are. First of all, we're buying the heck out of Ripple. Second of all, we're supposed to be working together to build this Corda platform so that the government can use it. So it's something that was in the original plan, it would seem. Ripple further alleged that R3 had concealed the fact that some of its consortium members, including Goldman Sachs and Banco Santander, were looking to leave the group despite promises that would work to promote the use case XRP within their respective companies. So Bank of Goldman Sachs and Santander kind of stabbed them in the back, even though they promised that they were going to use XRP. So this whole Corda business was supposed to just be XRP, and something happened between them, big spat. And of course, coincidences, you make your own decisions, come to your own conclusions. A huge lawsuit suddenly shows up and holds XRP down for years, while this Corda system develops itself, and now we're ready for FEDNOW. Big surprises there. But look at this. This is that R3 Corda settler app. This is a tutorial for it and how to set up payments for XRP. So there you go. They've got documentation. Any developer can get in there and build an app that just bridges Corda and XRP. Because you know why? Because they've been working together since inception. So it is easy to integrate XRP technology into Corda. One might even say that even though they're quote unquote independently developed, that one has influenced the other, or at least inspired the other And you can see there's technical details on how to do it. Doesn't seem very hard. And there you go. So who are these banks anyway? Apparently there are over 200 member institutions in the R3 consortium, including some of the world's largest banks. Here is a list of some of the banks in the R3 consortium. In Asia, we have Bank of China. That's a huge bank. Bank of New York Mellon, BNP Paribas, CBD, China Construction Banks, DBS Bank, HSBC, massive bank. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, MUFG. Some of these banks, of course, are international. HSBC has a huge presence in Europe and in the United States. Of course, BNP Paribas is a huge international bank. In Europe, we have, again, some of these will overlap. ABN AMRO, BBVA, BNP Paribas, again, like I said. Commerce Bank, Credit Suisse, problematic bank. Deutsche Bank, also kind of problematic, but massive nonetheless. Lloyds Banking Group, NatWest, huge bank in the United States, in the United Kingdom, sorry. ING, North America, you have Bank of America, BMFO Financial Group, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Scotiabank, State Street Corporation, UBS, Wells Fargo. These are humongous institutions. And of course, these are just a few of the over 200 banks that have come together that originally decided to use XRP, and then something happened. They built this other thing. They're all sitting on billions of dollars of XRP. And of course, the XRP tokens that they bought that was involved in that lawsuit that I showed you earlier on, that doesn't mean that's all they bought. Chances are they bought a lot more than that. So this is how it is. We know FedNow isn't using XRP, but we do understand that all these banks and all these organizations around the world have been buying XRP. They bought at a really, really cheap price. They have billions of them. They have systems that are set up to work with XRP. Up to 60% of institutions in the United States will be using FedNow apparently, and it's only a matter of time before everyone is using it. We know FedNow is interoperable indirectly with XRP. XRP bridges can be built very, very easily. Same with XML, XDC, and others. International companies can transfer money to US banks by XRP. As you can see, payments and settlements can be made that originated from an XRP network. Bridges can be built around the world. XRP is cheaper, faster, and more efficient. So companies around the world, as you can see, are already adopting it, are more likely to use that. FedNow is something that is competing with XRP only in the United States, not internationally. So if anything, FedNow is a plus, net plus to XRP. Yes, it's a competitor, but technologically speaking, it's a boost because the concept of settlements instantly, transferring money globally, remittances, institutional payments, etc., moving to the blockchain, that can only be positive for XRP. None of this is financial advice. Do your own research. I hope it's cleared up a bunch of things. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.